Growing up, we never really did any kind of this family stuff. Our family was pretty chaotic and unstable. I don't even remember many stories. I don't even talk to my family now. As a matter of fact, I cut off all things, relationships with my family. It's been that way for years. Since like 2013, even like in 2006. The only person I do talk to is my sister, and when this assignment came up, I went in to go and talk to her about this. And now what I'm doing is gonna give you a story because I'm not really that competent in telling stories, and my attention span isn't that. So I had to write it down, okay? Here we go. When I was 10 years old, living in Roswell, New Mexico, I packed my bags to head out and visit our stepfather, Dickie Richard Takeda, who worked construction some days in Roswell, Ruidoso, New Mexico. The family started with my brother Carlos, sister Christina, and Francis' mother. Now Carlos runs out of the house on 1405 East Tilden and jumps in the car, ready to go to the mountains. Christina walks out the house, holding Francis's hand to the car. Who is her mother, or our mother, where Carlos is already waiting in the front seat. Francis yells, "Frank, hurry up and get your ass in the car because I'm ready to go." But as she walks to get the car closer, she sees Frank already in the back seat, ready to go. Frank looks at Francis and tells her, "I'm already in the car with brother, ready to go." Francis calls me a little shit for not letting her know I was in the car, for making her mad, and for making her mad. Plus, she adds, "You better not act up or make me mad or I'm gonna beat your little ass." And I say, "But Mom," but before I could do anything to defend, before I could say a word out to defend myself, Francis tells me, "Shut up," and I don't want to hear it. By this time, during this time, Carlos was about 12. He already knew enough about Francis, our mom, not to say anything while she was yelling or getting mad and going through these little episodes. Christina was about 6 years old and knew she was the baby of the family, with the fact that her dad was the biological father of her and not us, the brothers of us. I was about 9 years old and thought that anything I did was wrong, and was scolded more than my older brother and younger sister for practically breathing the wrong way. I was just, yeah. Well, in addition to me being 9 years old, I didn't know what to do with my anger, because at this age, I didn't know how to constructively voice my opinion, and I didn't know how to express myself in a way that would be understood by others. Furthermore, I had no idea that in my mind I was dealing with synapses not sufficiently connecting in my brain to other neurons that were responsible for the majority of this impulsive behavior and the ability to not think clearly and or outside of the situation. Hence, not in the story, but my attention span. All of this may be true for me many years down the road, before this one heading to Ruidoso. Francis had not realized that she had PTSD, bipolar, depression, and no parenting skills other than the ones she was raised to give her children the best that she possibly could. Therefore, her rationalizing and family communication skills were chaotic and unstable. Mine. This is to say, as soon as the family got all packed, and in the 1985 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme car, Francis drove east of Roswell Highway 38 towards Ruidoso for a weekend trip. Carlos was still in the front, and my sister Christina and I were in the backseat. Christina and I would constantly fight, back and forth, do our things. And, of course, she would say, "Mom, Frank's picking on me." I was yelled at, of course, and told by Francis, "You just wait till we get to Ruidoso and I tell your dad he's gonna whip your ass." The next 70 miles and 1 hour drive was me asleep in the back seat the whole way. I would always get car sick, and she would get car sick too. Okay. I was awoken by Carlos opening the door, running to the river by our dad's family's cabin. Dickie would work up here, as I mentioned in the beginning, in the mountains every so often because he was working in the construction. And when Francis and him decided on planning being together, they would plan to be a trip here. I was excited and unbuckled my seatbelt, as well as avoiding setting off Francis, our mom, who might remember to tell our dad about the irrational blaming shifting on me. Therefore, I was out of the sight as soon as possible to play by the river with my brother, and soon to later, Christina, my sister. With this in mind, Francis and Dickie, stepdad, let Christina play with us, her brothers, Carlos and I, by the river, while they stood outside and did what lovers do. But before Christina reached us at the river, which was about 200 feet from the cabin, Carlos and I were having an apple tree fight. We were having a miniature apple, first with a miniature apple from the apple trees next to the river. Fortunately for Carlos, he was first and nailed me right in the head with a solid, unripe apple. I cried for a bit from the pain, but Carlos ran to see if I was okay and asked, "Are you okay?" Showed him where I was hit. I did, and then he noticed nothing was wrong and I was going to live. Carlos then slapped it with his hand. He says, "Quit crying, being a little sissy, let's go play." And we took off running. Boom, my tears stopped, and I started smiling again with my sister, my sister Christina walked up and started playing with her brothers, us, by the river. Carlos slowed down the rough play down because he was protecting his sister. We were protective of his sister, and then we all went back and forth, played the whole time there for the remainder of the weekend, in and out of the river at our dad's family home in the cabin. And when you see down a little bit later, over here, there's a picture of us a little younger than what I mentioned in the video, and there's me with the anger on this video thing where I cut out some of the pictures with my anger. But that's the age we were at right there. I hope you enjoy and make it a beautiful day.